Hi, everybody. And we were like, are we on? Are we live? What's happening?
We don't know how the things work. So
yeah, we'll give it a few minutes because it usually takes some people time to log in and get active here. But thank you guys so much for taking time out of your busy days. I hope everybody's doing very well right now.
Yes, we're really hoping everyone's staying well and staying healthy, as everyone's saying.
Awesome. So, okay, we got 23 participants, it says. So right. I think we're ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, I agree.
Does anybody monitoring questions? Okay, cool.
Okay, cool.
So basically the reason we wanted to start doing this, so thank you guys for everybody who was on last week and who came back. If you found some value, we love it. We would really appreciate your insights, right? So we based last week's off of your questions, and that's what we want to do again. So we're really just here to answer any questions that you have. So if you want to just put them into the chat, we would love to respond to you and answer them.
Absolutely. And if you guys don't have questions, we'll tell stories or talk about things that we've done in the last few days, which also works for most people.
It's usually pretty entertaining. I mean, for those of you who have been following us for a while, you know that in an average week of our lives, we do more than an average person does in a month, right? And it's not knocking anybody. It's it's just the realities of what happens, right? So again, we've got a lot of different things happening. We've got the different businesses, we've got our, family jams, and then there's just a lot of other things happening.
Well, a lot of people don't even realize, like, our team that helps us is already at 60 people. A lot of people don't realize that's how big our company is.
Bouncing the table.
Oh, sorry. I'll stop with my Ukrainian hands. I am a hand talker, so I can't keep them below because I'm causing the computer to have an earthquake.
Oh, perfect.
Oh, cool.
We have email questions. Yay. Thank you. So let's start with this then. So for Peter, number one question, are you entering the US? Peter, were you not on last week's webinar? No, I'm just razzing you. That's totally fair. So we will be entering the US. It's just that it's just been delayed a little bit because, again, I was there for all of the winter. And the reason I was there was to obviously figure out which markets made sense and do the research. And then I had ended up coming back home because my mom had unexpectedly broke her leg. So I ended up being here 4 days actually before the whole COVID thing really turn into a thing. So I have decided to stay back here until the world can decide to life again. So we're just really going hard with all the Canadian things. So we've put more energy and attention into turning around and basically launking a new city in Saskatoon right now and really putting all our energies there. But we are moving
in
forward.
Saskatchewan, not Saskatoon.
Sorry, new city. Sorry, lack of sleep. Thank you.
You're
new
welcome.
City in Saskatchewan. So that's where we've been putting all of our attention. But in the background, we are still moving ahead with doing the incorporations and setting up all of that stuff. So it's just going to take a few more weeks to get launched there. And it's going to be a little bit slower.
It's not a bad thing. It'll allow me the time I need to get the good system set up so it can really take off and run. That's what I'm excited about with this kind of change in how things were going to happen.
For sure.
And then, are you considering investing in ongoing businesses that are selling? Oh, can I answer this one?
Yeah.
Okay. So the answer is no. And the reason is Rochelle and I would love to do things like this. Here's the thing though. We learned, and this was a hard lesson for us, when we first started this and took all the education that we did, we got shiny object syndrome. We literally thought, oh my gosh, we could do everything. Yeah, no, you can't. No matter how much sleep.
You can't do it well.
Well, yes, that's
key. You can try to do it, but it's all going to be a hot mess.
Yes, yeah. And once we literally broke out our two programs, the Fund to Flip and the Hassle-Free Landlord program, and put that focus out, that's why our business has accelerated. I shouldn't say that's why, it's one of the reasons why our business has really accelerated. Moving forward, are we going to look at this? Yeah, this is our retirement plan. This is what we want to do for fun. We want to do all kinds of crazy things where it's like, hey, they're doing that wrong. Their systems are screwed. We can do a better job, right? That's our retirement, literally. We're going to get E.P.I.C to where it's literally completely systemized. The board of directors is there. Everything will happen. We'll always have a pulse on it, but ultimately we want to keep expanding and growing into whatever we want. And so that's where you'll see us start doing those kinds of things in the future.
And that won't happen until we hit our $1 billion worth of residential real estate. Because again, that's the goal. And so when we hit that point, at that point, we'll have all the systems in place, like we mentioned. So yeah, we can show the chart. So some people might not have seen this before. we'll go back, and basically this is what's showing our growth from day one to now, and then our growth game plan for the next 5 years. So as you can see on the screen, we started with flipping one house in 2014, and then 2015 we did 2 houses. In 2016 we created the hassle-free landlord program, gained control of $5 million worth of real estate. By 2017 we gained control of 12 million. 2018 we gained control of 32 million. Last year we ended the year controlling $64 million, and then the goal this year is to be at 128 million. As long as we keep doubling, there you go.
When we keep doubling.
Yeah.
Yep.
Thank you.
Pretty much.
Again, we always call each other out, right?
Oh, yeah.
So it's always manifestation. The universe it's the job to make sure that it does what you put out there. And so, yeah, be very attentive to your words. So yes, when that happens, it'll be 4 years to $1 billion.
And we can go a little deeper on this, because a lot of people go, well, yeah, okay, billion in real estate, not a big deal. What you have to understand, what we're talking about is $1 billion in residential real estate. Yeah, can you hit this incredibly easy and fast with commercial properties?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Multifamily apartments.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We're not doing that. We are doing single family homes. Once we've reached that, we realize that our company is completely good to go on its own, carry on with growing, all of those kinds of things. That's why we'll be able to do what we're calling our retirement strategies of looking at other options or businesses, whether we go into apartments or whether we go into other things. Who knows what that'll be, but that's what that's going to give us.
Yeah, totally.
Cool.
The other thing this kind of segues into another question from Peter: are you considering investing in multi-unit complexes to either buy, hold, or flip? So the answer to here, again, very easily, no. Right? Because we focus on residential real estate, so 4plexes or less. And there's a lot of back end reasons for it, but essentially it's just very easy. So 4plexes or less falls under residential financing, so you can qualify for a mortgage with 20% down. Commercial or multifamily, the banks want a higher percentage down, and it doesn't work to do it as a hassle-free landlord property, just because we are not going to take on all the expenses and all the onus of going in and replacing a $10,000 boiler, right? Those are going to be really heavy costs, and that would just potentially take all the cash flow out of a deal. So it wouldn't make sense for us financially.
So is it never going to happen? We don't say never, because we've learned, again, back to the manifestation, the universe always kicks our butt.
Yeah.
And that's a big thing.
How do you put the screen back on?
So with that, we are definitely, it's something we're going to be open-minded to. And then Peter, your question here, any commercial opportunities coming up that a few of us would get in on with you? Not really at the moment, but who knows? We don't know. So, but we'll see.
Okay, so thank you, Peter. Susan, what does Sue say here? If you are using cash or equity from a home equity line of credit for a fund to flip, how do you move the cash? I thought I had to use Olympia Trust, but I believe it is a direct EFT to E.P.I.C. Yeah, great question. So what happens if you're using cash or home equity line of credit is it's actually going to be a transfer directly to the lawyer. So again, your money never comes to us on a registered deal, because the lawyer has to prepare everything to make sure everything's registered on title properly, to make sure your security is on that property. So essentially they're going to request the cash or home equity line of credit funds directly from you, and they're just going to basically give them their bank account information, and then you just have to either wire or deposit the funds to their trust account. And that's it. It's pretty easy. So yeah, Olympia Trust is just for registered funds. So if people have any registered products, so TFSA, LIRA, RRSP, RESP, RDSPs, any of those registered products, because they're federally regulated, they do have to go through Olympia Trust, because again, they don't want you to have any, they don't want you handling the money just in case anything were to go sideways. So that's what the trust companies are for. So they definitely do serve a purpose, even as painful as they can be to deal with some days. Okay, and then number 2, if using a home equity line of credit funds, what paperwork would be required to write off the interest on the borrowed funds?
Okay, so I'm just going to make one disclaimer. Just so everyone's clear, we are not lawyers and we are not accountants. So we can give you a little bit of information on maybe some of the directions you could look at with the proper person in that field of that industry. Just my disclaimer.
For sure. Thank you. So what we do for the documentation, we don't issue T5s or any extra government paperwork, but it is pretty easy. When you do the deal with us, you're going to get a copy of the mortgage agreement. And this essentially says, okay, so I lent E.P.I.C $100,000. I made 10 or 12% on my money, and then it's for a 6-month deal. At the end of the deal, whenever that is, maybe it closed in 3 months, maybe it closed in 9, whatever, you'll get a payout, which will be the end statement that shows you how much you made on that deal. just bring that to your accountant, and it's easy to figure out, okay, this is what I paid. This is what my cost of borrowing was for my line of credit for all those months. And then this is what I made. And then basically the home equity line of credit interest is a deduction. So pretty easy. And I get, you know, some people will ask us, well, how come you don't issue extra paperwork? You have everything you need. It's right there. So we've been growing our business quite rapidly, and we're not into make work projects. That's pretty much the reason.
Okay.
Hopefully that answers that.
So another question.
Pooja.
Pooja.
Are you considering going into other provinces in Canada? Again, we did answer this last week, but we'll answer it again.
Yeah, so not at this time. Maybe in the future, but not right now. We honestly, in Saskatchewan, we have enough inventory for a very, very long time.
Yeah, we already have our sites on 5 other Saskatchewan cities. And maybe we'll go into the why we invest in Saskatchewan in the first place,
yeah,
right?
That's a good one.
So the reason that we don't invest in BC or in Ontario is because out there, the play is generally for heavy appreciation, right? So for us, we look for pure cash flow. Who cares if the property value never goes up? Really, as long as you're cash flowing, we're good, right? And essentially that's our model, that's our mode. And it just doesn't really make sense in other provinces. The other side of it too is the tenancy boards, right? Look what's happening right now with the markets in Ontario. There was already a 4 to 6 month backlog. Now you add on the whole COVID thing, and it's just literally getting into a horrific situation. So now when you have somebody in your property for 8 months to a year, not paying you a dime, and there's nothing you can do about it, I'm not good with that. I mean, you know, everybody's free to do their own stuff, but this is why we are in Saskatchewan, because we know all the tenancy laws. And, you know, yeah, we're being a little bit held up if people are having tenancy issues here, but there was only a 2 to 4 week backlog before going into this.
Correct. Yeah. So it definitely is the big one. Again, once we look at Saskatchewan and we have it basically locked down, we will turn around and we will look at other provinces, but the need isn't there right now. So there's no, like Rochelle says, there's no need to do make work projects.
Yeah. Again, I always tell people, stay in your lane.
Yeah.
Right. If it doesn't, like, if it's not something that impacts you or your world, don't focus on it. Don't spend your time there. Right. Because it's just going to confuse the universe and confuse everything else in your life. Just stick to what you're doing and mind your P's and Q's, and life's easier that way.
Awesome.
Do we have any more questions?
They're coming.
So the questions
Ashley's writing as fast as she can.
She's going to get writer's cramp.
We can talk a little bit more about Saskatoon too. And another thing that we really like about Saskatchewan and Saskatoon is the economics here. So as you look at the province and break it out, it's actually one of the most diverse provinces in all of Canada for economy. Okay. A lot of people don't know that about Saskatchewan, that we have everything from oil, gas, potash, health grade uranium, gold, diamonds, you know, like agriculture. We are actually one of the world's largest pulse crop producers. Okay, we feed the world. I don't think feeding the world is going anywhere, even with what's going on right now. People need to eat, right? What got left open as an essential service, one of the places, all the grocery stores, right? So again, it's a very diverse economy here, and that's also why we like it here as well.
You know what's kind of funny though, when the list of essential services originally came out, they left out farmers.
Yeah.
Like,
brilliant.
What? Like, who is making up these policies? Yeah. That's the kind of stuff, man. Like, it's just like, it's ridiculous. Honestly, I'm like, oh, wow. Because, you know, God forbid you have to feed the world. And of course, when you go into the grocery stores, what is everybody buying up? The grains, the lentils, the flour, right? So well, because that's the stuff that's going to stay good. And if we couldn't go to a grocery store for a month, what's going to be good? Your flour's not going to go bad, right? And that just blew my mind. So anyway, another question. So we got Steph, I don't know, Steven?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay. Yeah. Do you expect the market for private lending to slow down over the next few months? No. It depends.
It depends. Yeah, that's a political question, political answer part of me. So for us, you know, we've had a lot of our investors reach out, which we're 110% grateful that people reach out. We've actually only had, full disclosure, we've only had 2 investors actually pull funds. And those were investors that were not really setting themselves up to be really aggressive with their lending and their borrowing, and they just weren't comfortable with the deals. And at the end of the day, we always want to make sure that everybody feels really secure and comfortable in what they're investing in. So we basically talked to them and said, you know, that's fine if you're going to breach contract on one of our deals. We'll get you your money back, but you are never going to be eligible to invest with us again. So as long as they're good with that, that's fine. We replace the investors funds with new investors funds who love what we offer. And again, if it's not in alignment, we don't want to be working with people that are not.
There's more than enough clients out there for us to keep growing and going. So, you know, we don't need to beg, you know, and all those kinds of things. We work with amazing investors. They are like, this is probably not the best politically correct term, but they are honestly our best cheerleaders. It's awesome to have, right? And this honestly really brought that to light, like what's going on in the world right now really brought that to light for us, the faith and the trust that people have in us. But that's because of the way we work with their funds. Our integrity is everything. It's the EPIC way.
For sure. And that's literally more than just our slogan, right? Like Alisa and we hold our investors funds in top priority over our money and our well-being, because at the end of the day, without our investor clients, we would be nothing and we would have nothing. And we are completely blessed for that opportunity. So it's ironic because with the amount of people that are actually liquidating their stocks right now and wanting to get it into real estate, we've actually had a lot more people reach out. So, you know, any businesses that are really suffering right now, what we always say, and this is kind of the theme of last week, but you just have to pivot. You just have to, pivot fast and adapt, right? This is a time of new beginnings. It's a time of, you know, shaking everybody up. And those people who are going to get creative and really, you know, just have the gusto to keep moving forward are the ones that are going to make it through this and be successful on the other side, right? We built our business to be pretty much recession proof just because of all the different angles we have in there. You know, even if real estate investors were to get shut down for some reason, which they won't, because people need to still buy and sell houses. But at the end of the day, we also have our property management company in-house, and then we also have a construction company. So you want to tell me that you can't go and, you know, deal with your tenants, or you can't, you know, go out and put in furnaces, especially in our minus temperatures and such. It's never going to be completely shut down. So that's kind of cool. So hopefully that answered that question. I think I went on a tangent there.
Yeah, no, that was about the lending.
So for us, I don't see it.
No. And I mean, that's honestly going to be like with private lending, that's up to literally the investor, right? Are you going to keep going through this or are you not? So really there's always going to be companies like ours that are looking to pair with private lending. So, I mean, that's what it comes down to. If you're the one looking to lend the funds, you'll find people. There's still tons. We've talked to lots of other real estate investors that are still going hard, just like us, because they see the opportunities that are out there instead of looking at all the negatives.
For sure. Okay. So here's one. So John, when you expand out into the USA, will you buy from wholesalers? 100%.
We do that here.
Totally. Yeah. And it's funny because we've actually had some wholesalers who they basically wanted to find us really depressed properties and then turn around and flip them to us. And we were like, dude, that needs more than $5,000 work. Right now we're slammed. We got little houses. We can go do light improvements and get our spread of $25,000. We're not going to buy that. And they're like, well, can I renovate that and then sell you a finished product? I'm like, hey, if you can make money and we can make money,
we're
awesome.
Happy.
So we got a guy, he literally pops out about 2 to 3 properties a month, turnkey for us, but he made his money and we make our money. Everyone's happy, right? So it's all about being creative and thinking outside the box. So we're not going to say, no, that doesn't work. At the same time, we're going to work with wholesalers who know their numbers and are actually good at running deals. And at the end of the day, if we ended up buying a deal and it didn't go according to what the wholesaler said, we just don't buy more deals with a wholesaler. Yeah. No big deal. Again, because we do volume-based business, we can afford to eat it on a couple deals. Again, we eat it, not our investors, which is, again, I use that word too much. I apologize. Yeah. But from there, we are going to turn around and we're going to eat the losses, and it's a write-off for our company. And we have profitable deals that we can still pay out the investor. And that's why we pay fixed returns.
Exactly. So we've got a few here. This was our next one. How many individual investors do you have?
So this increases literally monthly, but I'd say right now we have about 160 individual investors. And like I said, that grows all the time. We have a lot of people bringing us their friends and family. We have a really good referral program, right, where we pay $1,000 referral fee for any people you bring to us that close on a deal. So we have people that are getting an extra stream of income just by sharing these amazing opportunities that they're really appreciating. So that's growing all the time, but yeah, about 160 at the last count.
So here's one. Beth, what is the one book that is a must read to get started and grow and evolve the way you guys have? I don't know if it can be summed up in one book, but our start and claim to fame is Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Yeah.
That is absolutely a must read if this is a world that you're thinking about getting into, because if you can't switch your brain to understand assets, liabilities, how money truly works, those kinds of things, you won't go very far. So that would definitely be top of the list.
Number one.
Yeah. What would be another one for you?
So this is where I always tell people, okay, but who are you and what are you looking for, right? Because what might resonate with you might not resonate with me, right?
For sure.
So for us, if I've got somebody who wants to be entrepreneurial and they want to run this as a business, I always say, number one for everybody, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, because it's just a paradigm shift, completely changes your way of thinking and seeing things, right? Like the number one question in there, is your house, your primary residence, an asset or a liability? And so for me, I love asking people that question just because it'll tell me their framework, right? Yeah. So if they're like, 100%, it's an asset. I'm like, okay, cool. So by virtue, an asset is something that puts money into your pocket. Now, if you don't have a basement suite like I have in my house, then is it really an asset if it takes money out of your pocket every month? Or do you have a home equity line of credit on it that you are leveraging? So now your house actually does put money into your pocket. Because if you can't say yes to either of those two things, then I'm sorry, darling, it's a liability, right? And so for there, people are like, what? And some people want to argue about it. And I'm like, you know what, let's just differ opinions, man. Yeah. But at the end of the day, facts are facts, right? So that's the kind of stuff that hard-hitting truths are in that Rich Dad, Poor Dad book. And it's honestly, again, Alisa is going to say no, but it's an easy read. I was through it in like an afternoon. And I mean,
she's not mocking me, but she always uses that term. And Rochelle has amazing gifts, and being able to read like she can is one of them. I have 3 types of dyslexia. So the term easy read, not so much on this one. But it is actually an easy understanding. The way he wrote it is very layman's. And I say that wholeheartedly, meaning literally just about anyone. At the time, my 10-year-old son read it and asked me questions with a paradigm shift. So that's what she's referring to. So anyone with like decent reading levels, you're going to whip through it. Somebody like me, I actually read it fairly quick. For me, it took me 10, 12 days to read, which for me, that's amazingly quick.
Yeah. And now they got audiobooks, which is amazing. I've got my Audible. I've got so many books and a full library in there. So the next book I would say, if you wanted to be an entrepreneur, the next book I would recommend would be The E-Myth by Michael Gerber. Okay, so that one's going to talk about not working in your business, but working on your business. So for us, that was kind of the turning point for us to literally start scaling our company, where we weren't on the day-to-day tools all the time and, do things 5 times and then hire it out, those kind of awesome things. What are some mindset books that can help? Because I find a lot of people, it's not even about the how to do the things, it's getting your mind right.
Sure is. So, there's so many out there. I really liked, the last one I just read was, it's Grant Cardone, but I believe it's Be Obsessed.
Be Obsessed or Be
Average, which was a really good one for me. Yeah. The other one that I tell people all the time to really get kind of a hold on your emotional side is the Motivational Manifesto by Brendon Burchard. So it's a really good one to really, if you have fears, if you have those things, if you're female, I would really recommend the 2 books by Rachel Hollis, the Girl Stop Apologizing, and the last
Girl Wash Your Face.
And Girl Wash Your Face, the first one.
There's so many brilliant. Yeah. And, we do try to promote reading and books. So we do have a monthly giveaway, a book giveaway. So make sure you follow us on social media. And so you can enter your name in those draws. I think we give away 5 books a month, and there's been a lot of awesome feedback from people.
Any of those ones would be prime examples. Go through our Facebook page and look at the ones that we recommend. There's reasons we've recommended them, because we know they'll impact you somehow.
For sure.
Okay.
And then for just a plug here, for anybody who's interested in doing the private lending side, I mean, our girl Jody Vetterell that wrote Beyond the Books, that book is Beyond the Banks.
That's okay.
I swear
I'm
to
here
God,
for you.
I'm like, some days sleep is essential.
We have this thing where we say, between the 2 of us, there's only half a brain. And then when we're together, it's a whole. Yeah. And it's so true.
So we're like, oh yeah, you said that. I'm like, okay, that's fine. That's all good.
I screwed that up.
I don't know, whatever. Anyway, you get the point. We work well together. Yeah. Okay. So
this one here. Lori,
Okay.
Are you able to continue renovating your flips in Saskatchewan during COVID? So I'll answer that one. Right now, all of our flips are rental properties that we do, from our fund to flip to our hassle-free landlord program. Excuse me, I'm a little hoarse. I'm all the cleaners and stuff. I'm so allergic, and so I'm losing my voice. Yes, we are still continuing to renovate and carry on. We have such a high demand for rental properties right now. It's insane. So we are, again, these houses are vacant and we don't have any issues with doing the cleaning we need to, people keeping away from each other. We only let one trade in, the other one comes in later. So we're able to systemize. And again, you have to understand, back to that 60 plus team members that we have all our own tradespeople, so we control that schedule. So our plumbers can go in, have that house to themselves, leave, and then our electricians can come in and do their thing, and then our carpenters, and they can go back and forth, and they're all working out of the same office. So it's very easy to schedule and communicate that. So our answer is yes, and we actually hired 6 more people to carry on. Thank you. To carry on with everything in regards to renovations.
For sure. So good one.
Yeah.
So here's one. So from David, are there videos available about your hassle-free landlord program and fund to flip program? Yes, you betcha. So
yeah.
Ashley's just going to post the links in the chat so you can have access to them. But honestly, on our website, we have so much, and we have, I think the team just launched it like 3 weeks ago. It's a 20-minute cartoon educational video that completely breaks down our hassle-free landlord program. The feedback from everybody has been that it is so well done. It answers so many questions, and it's kind of fun to watch. And my favorite quote I've had so far was, "I really love the aliens."
So now you gotta watch it because you gotta figure out where the aliens are.
For sure. So yeah, we have tons of content for you. All right, and then
is this
Sandro?
Sandra? Are you guys married and have kids? How do you manage the lifetime balance? I guess that's one I'm taking. So you can start that off.
So we have very different lives. So Alyssa and myself, we're very different people.
Oh yeah.
So if anybody has met us individually and then they meet us together, they're like,
what?
Like, I don't understand, right? Yeah. So for us, I think the reason that our partnership works so well is because we do balance each other out really, really well.
Yes.
And personally, even that way too. So for myself, I am not married. I do not have kids, and I'm not having children. I don't have plants. I don't have pets, and I don't have kids. Why? Because I have no patience for any of them. And again, don't get me wrong. I love other people's because I can go and dote on them and then leave and go have a really, just quiet night, chillaxing, living my best life. And then if I decide to, not right now, but hop on a plane tomorrow, I can, because I have the freedom that I wanted in my life. So again, I live a life by design. So it's not by accident that I don't have kids. I got fixed when I was 28, right? So again, there's all these different things and facets that make who we are.
Yes.
But for myself, my goal has always been to retire and be financially free at 40. So when we started this company, I was 30. And I said, I'll work every single day for the next 10 years to build an empire. So I never have to work another day past my 40s if I don't want to, right? So right now I'm 37 and a half. So I have 2.5 years of hustle. And again, hustle mode. Like, this is real. This is my identity right now. This is who I am, what I do. Everybody who knows me knows that Rochelle's going to have to fit you in after her work schedule, because that is my priority. And that's okay. If you don't like it, don't be in my world. It's all good, but no judgment. I don't judge how you live. You don't need to judge how I live, right? So that's basically how I rule my life. So Alyssa's life, way different.
Yeah. So back to what Rochelle said there in regards to, we are very different. What binds us together, though, are the important things. Our values, our morals, our integrity. Those things are aligned 100%. Yeah, I do have a fiance, and I do have he's now a 14-year-old son. So for me, when you talk about time-life balance, I'm also the one that is juggling all the back-end systems and the 60 plus employees on top of everything. Plus, I'm also the one that's going out and bringing in the inventory and managing all the contractors and everything for all the projects and so forth. So yeah, I don't like, honestly, using the word balance, because in my opinion, balance is bullshit. Excuse the language. I don't know if they can bleep that. I guess not. It's live. But anyways.
We don't have to. It's our platform.
Yeah. Okay, like that. With that, though, what I mean by that is I prefer to talk more about juggling, right? Because everybody kind of gets lost in this balance and the whole imagery of it and everything. Whereas I'm a juggler, okay? And do I drop the ball sometimes? 100%. So with that, for me, it works as a better way to function and think about things. Okay, well, I'm juggling this over here. I got this area over here. For me, envisioning everything as like its own spear or a little ball, I can also move them around and manipulate them however I need to. Okay. And one of those that I really like is a spear for me. I have to make time for me. And this was probably through all of this, and Rochelle will attest to this, taking time for me was probably my hardest thing to learn and understand that if I'm not good, I can't juggle. I can't keep on top of everything. I can't do what I need to. So that was a big lesson for me. So I like to look at that over balance. Do I screw up? Absolutely. Do I drop things? Absolutely. But for me, how do I handle that when that happens is better than trying to balance and make it all even, because they're not even. Okay. My son does sometimes outweigh what's going on with the business. Okay. Not all the time though, right? There are certain aspects where he's like, hey, I want to go shopping for a video game. Awesome. Wyatt, I have it on my list. We will make it happen in the next 7 days. That is literally how I run my life with my son.
The other thing you do really well is creating a bright future, right? So you can talk about your trips and such.
Yeah, and that's a big one. My time, I'm utilizing, like Rochelle and I don't live by weeks and days. We live by seconds and minutes. Every one of them is valuable to us. There isn't just, hey, we're just going to binge on Netflix for 37 hours. That's not an option at all for what we're trying to build and do. So circling back to looking at all of that, we value those minutes and seconds. And what I have to do is sometimes Gary, my fiance, and Wyatt, my son, have to be patient for some of my time, because the business goes through ebbs and flows, right? Sometimes we're going through big expansions. Sometimes I have a massive system I have to set up. What Rochelle's talking about is, for example, I sat Wyatt down and I said, you know what, Wyatt, the next little while is going to be very, very busy at work. But what I'm going to offer you is my complete attention for a week in Florida and at Disney World. And we set that up. We got an Airbnb. It was a business trip / fun trip. Wyatt came down with us and we went to a conference on the weekend. And then I spent the next week with him at Disney World, and we went to Gatorland and all these things. Literally gave him my attention, came home, and he loves that. I'm so big on quality over quantity, okay? Because I've seen moms that think they're that and a bag of potato chips. They sit on a couch 8 hours a day and they're home all day with their kids, and they're horrible parents. Just calling it out.
No judgment.
No judgment, sorry. I'm not allowed to say that. I just got in trouble. But really, I mean, I've seen it where it's like they could step up. Instead of saying they're horrible, they could really step up. And that irritates me. You can, I'm sure, tell.
It goes back to staying in your lane, though, right?
Yes.
Instead of those people who choose to live like that, don't throw shade at her because of how she chooses to live her life.
Yeah.
But at the same time, she doesn't need to throw shade at you.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay. Anyway, so let's move on. So we've got, can we use TFSAs for HFLP? The answer is unfortunately not. Well, okay, I'll reframe that. If you wanted to use TFSA money for HFLPs, you would have to withdraw from your TFSA. So there is no way to use a registered product as a down payment for a hassle-free landlord house, because it has to be liquid. So you can use cash or home equity line of credit or dissolve your TFSA or withdraw from your TFSA to do it. But unfortunately, you can't combine the two. So again, if people really want to get aggressive with earning money in their TFSAs, that's where we point people back to the ninja strategy, which is the TFSA, where we pair your cash with your TFSA to play the ratio game, where you're going to make a lot more in your TFSA accounts than you would on your cash or RSPs. So that's the only way we can facilitate those to the advantage. Sorry.
I'll just let you lead into this one because of kind of.
Okay, cool. So from Dina, can you talk about RSP lending and how I go about this? Yeah, 100%. So of course, for us, our number one call to action is always book in a call, and we can literally walk you through it for your specific circumstance. If it makes sense to move, if you're locked into something, and give you some options for yourself. But overall, what this looks like is any registered funds, if you want to keep them registered, they have to be, I guess you have to go through a trust company. So we work with Olympia Trust that's based out of Calgary. You would open up a self-directed RSP there, and then you would do a transfer from your current RSP into that. Then once your funds are there, we can actually access those funds to use on our fund flip deals. And we do that by creating a arm's length mortgage. So essentially you will get registered on title for our property while we borrow the funds straight out of your RRSP. Then when the deal is done, all the interest that we had paid for that RRSP goes back into your RRSP through the trust company. So you're not touching the funds. You don't have access to the funds. They're the third party that have to facilitate it. And we can help you walk through all of what that looks like if you want more information. But olympiatrust.com. olympiatrust.com. It's a really easy to set up the accounts and do the transfers, but we do have a specific designated contact person there. If you want, we can hook you up there.
So I'm gonna just answer this one.
Yeah.
So Donna, it was about you, but I'm gonna answer. What will happen to Epic Alliance Inc. if you retire in 2.5 years when you turn 40? We will continue to grow. When I was talking a little bit back, you may have missed, but our goal and mission is to get Epic set up. It will have a board of directors, all of those things. Again, that's more my part of the company, building out those systems and those sorts of things. That will continue. Our company will continue. Again, it's not that we're bailing on the company.
No,
it's not, we're the brand. You've seen our character, right? Like, it's literally, good luck removing us. It's literally pasted everywhere, right? It's just that we want to grow other things for ourselves and other businesses like we've talked about. We will always have a pulse on Epic. We will always be part of that board. We will always make sure that we have the best team members and the best people looking out for our investors. And if anything ever falls a hair backwards, we will come in and we will shake things up.
Yeah.
That will never stop happening.
Because you have to remember, this is our baby. Again, like I always tell people, I'm not having children, but my businesses are my babies, right? I put my heart and soul into those, and that is everything. So from there, yes, we are going to be 110% very aware of what's happening. It's just that I don't want to have to give up my 80 hour to 90 hours a week being a slave to the company because I am hustling so hard for other people's money. And because again, it goes back to the whole big thing, right? Without our investors' money and without our employees and our team members and everybody working together and us kind of corralling it and, you know, building the systems and everything like that, it wouldn't be growing at the pace it is. And it wouldn't be what it is today if we weren't willing to do that. But at the same time, once you've built the systems and it's a well-oiled machine and you attract the right team members and you keep growing, things become a lot easier and our roles just change and they just shift. I mean, when we first started the company, I mean, in year one, we were on every hat. Like we were doing all the things, right? And that's morphed and that's okay. And it's still morphed. I mean, now we have Brad, who's our sales director. He took over all the traveling across Canada so I can move over into the States. Some people were like, oh, how's it ever going to work if you're not the one traveling? Oh, just like we did last year. And like, it's all good. No one died. Like, just like that, right? Giving up the social media. We brought on Ashley and we've got Bailey as a helper. We got Jessica to help with our marketing. It's just going to grow. Eventually, these girls are going to be the ones leading our marketing teams, right? Like, it's just an evolution. So
the cameras following us everywhere. It'll be crazy.
Yeah. And so it's just going to evolve. That's all.
Yeah. Well,
just wait 1 second.
Okay.
I just want to comment, Ali LaBelle, you left a beautiful comment. I so appreciate that. We appreciate that.
Yes.
But you said, thanks for all this. I always leave your meetings aiming to be a better version of myself. So thank you.
Awesome.
I'm very honored by that. Again, our role in our lives is just to help elevate as many people as possible. And even if people don't have funds to invest or whatnot, or if you are an active real estate investor and you take some inspiration from what we're doing or whatever that looks like, amazing. Again, we always say we attract our tribe, we attract our vibe, right? And if we can help you with something, please reach out. And I really appreciate that you took the time out of your day to be here. So thanks for the comment. Okay, now you can do it.
Well, we can do it.
Okay. So we were just told by the marketing team. So for any of you guys who are on this call specifically waiting for the new special announcement that we have, that we kind of, we're almost dropped and leaked last week. But
yeah, we're very excited. Yes.
So we're going to announce it now.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have any guesses as to what it is? I know. So this is another thing. When people invest with us, they actually get the inside scoop on all of our pre-deals and everything like that. So our investors actually got the announcement on Monday in their emails.
Mm-hmm.
So we already have 10 people who went to the mortgage broker. There's people who have been kind of sitting on the fence for a while and they're like, let's do this. So what is the announcement, Alisa?
we are, for the next 60 days, offering 17% on our hassle-free landlord program. Holy crap. That's amazing.
Yes. So for anybody who's not familiar, our hassle-free landlord program generally pays a 15% annual rate of return, which is still incredible. Don't get me wrong. On a $200,000 property, you would be putting $43,000 to work. And if you're taking your full 15% return in monthly cash flow, you are already getting $538 of passive cash flow with the 15%. So let's dive into what the numbers would look like now with a 17% return. So here on our screen, we've got the old numbers crossed out and then the new numbers in red. So basically on a $200,000 property, same property, you're still going to get the mortgage, but you're going to put the $43,000 down. So that would be the 20% down payment of $40,000 and paying for the closing costs. And then calculating out the 17% return on that $43,000, you would be earning $7,310 per year times 2 years is $14,620. Divide that, if you took your 17% return in monthly cash flow, divide that by 24 months, you are literally cash flowing every single month, $610 of monthly cash flow. So let's back it up a minute. For those of you who have properties in Vancouver or Toronto, how much was your property? Okay, so let's say you bought your property for $400,000. Let's go conservative. Say you've owned it for a few years. You bought it for $400,000. You've got $80,000 in this down payment plus your closing costs, whatever that looked like. So what I want to ask you is, on that $400,000 property, which would be exactly the same as doing 2 of these deals with us, are you cash flowing over $1,200? Cash flowing over $1,200 every single month? Because if you're not, I implore you to book in a call.
100%. This is just, if you don't take advantage of this, there's multiple reasons why we offered this, and we'll touch base on that. The big thing here is, like, this is a huge opportunity for people, and needing to break this out is it's just so amazing. You really need to take advantage of this. We have an entire team ready. We are looking forward to your calls, and we just sat back and we're like, okay, there's so much going on right now, so much negativity. Everybody's being charged so much for everything that, you know, with COVID and everything that's going on. What can we do to put a positive spin on things? And we're like, you know what? Let's give back. Let's give more.
Yeah.
Let's do something more for people out there.
Yeah. Well, and the other side of it too was when we had a lot of calls, we've really increased our hassle-free landlord program marketing. If any of you guys are on Facebook or Instagram, you might be seeing the commercials that our team has put together. They're kind of super cheesy, which I love. Oh my gosh, they're so funny. If you haven't seen them, you should literally scour them out. They're hilarious. We got the toilet one, and we've got plumbing one, the game show, the doctor one's my favorite, the boxing one, like they're incredible, amazing. So essentially, with everybody booking in calls, we've been talking to people, and there's just been a lot of people that are like, oh, well, I'm just gonna wait. And these are people who are still working. They are in, you know, economies or in places where they're gonna keep working. They're not gonna lose their jobs. And it seems to be they're just waiting because they don't know what's gonna happen, which again, I get that there's a lot of uncertainty happening. But at the end of the day, let's turn around and just take action. We always say fortune favors the bold, and that's why we wanted to add this extra incentive. So it is gonna be offered from any houses closing from April 15th to June 15th, 2 months. It will close. I don't care if you've put a house under contract and you only gave yourself 3 weeks to close and it closes on June 16th, you're not going to get the returns. So basically people have to get in, and, you know, we can set up a call. We can put you in touch with our mortgage broker so you can get pre-approved right away. So you can get into this ASAP. And then the other side of it too is the way we work our programs is anybody who buys one of these houses at 17% will also be grandfathered in at that rate. So for any future hassle-free landlord houses that you buy, you'll also get 17% on those, and then also for any renewals. So that's pretty incredible. And some people have been asking, okay, well, I have 15% houses, you know, what can I do? So maybe you want to get yourself a 17% house to get locked in at this rate. And then in a year or two, whenever your other houses come up, maybe you want to sell those properties back and then buy new ones and lock them in at the 17% return too, right? So again, we're wanting to service people where they're at and keep working with everyone. That's where it's booking in a call.
The best way to see how this can be utilized for you and customized for you is honestly call one of us.
Yeah. That's
what it comes down to. Book in that call, get on the phone. I know everyone's scared of it unless they're texting, but
Sorry. I just read one of the comments.
comments.
I'll tell you in a second. Oh, you might as well do it now.
Oh my God. Sorry, got distracted there for a minute. It's from David. Rochelle, are you looking for a husband? Asking for a friend?
Literally, like we're not even.
The answer is fuck no.
I will second that.
Hilarious.
There's only so many people I can fix.
Oh my God, that's priceless. That made my day. Thank you. Okay,
So,
our contact
yes,
information
call
is
us.
on here though.
But not to ask if she'll marry you.
Yeah, that's like quick answers. Yeah. So just to finish this though, so we just want to get back to the screen. So we basically have our contact information on there. You can go to our website. We got a lot of information. So yeah, but my cell phone number, I'll put it out here again. Not for hooking people up, right? This is just for investments. But my cell phone number is 306-717-7848. And then Alisa's is
306-717-3351. Oh,
I don't want this shit.
Oh, us. You
Yes.
just want. Okay.
Thank you. Okay. So yeah, so that's basically that. So again, we're excited to work with people. And then, do we say that?
Oh,
Dina
no.
had a comment on here
Yeah.
too. Thank you so much. But
You ladies are amazing. Thank you so much.
thank you.
Thank you.
We
Yeah.
appreciate you. All right. Do we have any more comments? We still got some time. We got like 13 minutes left. So
David says, the guy who proposed marriage.
we're asking for a friend.
Yeah, asking for a friend.
Yeah, asking for a friend.
He says, I'll take that as a maybe.
Oh my God, so funny. So full disclosure.
You need to be stubborn as frick if you're
No.
gonna
So full disclosure. No, honestly, again, my commitment to the company is real.
Yeah.
So I have said that I am not interested right now, but in my 40s, when I am financially free and I have more time on my hands, I will be putting it out to the universe that I will be looking for my partner. So who knows? But again, it's a very specific person that is going to be a good partner for me because I am a very funny beast.
I will interview you first to save you pain and sorrow.
But again, it's just not in my wheelhouse. It's just not where I'm at right now. I just, honestly, for me, when you're talking about the balance thing, I don't believe in balance. I'm a very all or nothing type person. I do everything at 110% and I don't do half-ass in anything. So for me, if I was going to be an authentic partner, I would not be able to be that person for anybody else right now. And that's just not fair to anybody if you want to be in a committed relationship. And so right now I give my all to the business and to our team.
And it is a lot of work having a relationship when you're building out dreams and all those kinds of things. And I mean, I can attest to that. Again, being an entrepreneur and having a significant other who is not necessarily entrepreneurial, it does cause all kinds of conversations that sometimes you never even thought you would get into. It's just the nature of the beast.
So a comment from Joan. You two are so real and down to earth. That is why we love being invested with E.P.I.C.
Aww,
We appreciate you guys. Thank you. And one of our platforms for our business is that we show up and we are completely unapologetically authentic. So it's interesting because some people don't like us because of it, right? They want us to be more polished. They want us to show up in business suits and act like we're somebody we're not. And honestly, that just, it's never going to happen because why? It's not authentic.
We clean up okay once in a while, but beyond that, I'm sorry. I can't give up my stretchy pants and, I'm Ukrainian and the rest of me fills out like that.
Yeah. So, for us, that's why we attract people who are also living the same way. Again, they are very authentic. They're living their true purpose. And it's easy when you don't have to wear a mask or hide behind something you're not.
It is. It's true. It's so easy to just be yourself. It really is. And when you stop those pressures of, oh my gosh, will this person like me or will that person like me? Who cares?
Who cares? I know, honestly. And if this is something that you're struggling with in your personal life or even in your business life, if you feel like you've been living a facade or something that's not real, just go back to basics. What would that look like if you were to strip off those layers and get back to being authentically you? And again, some people are confused. Some people don't even know what that looks like. Some people don't even know who they are. This goes back to Alisa and myself. We've been taking personal development and so many different things for years, right? So we make sure we educate in all areas,
not just business, not just real estate, but personally and in all areas too. You know, one of my big things personally this year was I was like, I got to get myself in shape, because some people don't know this, but one of my goals is actually for my 40th birthday, I want to run an Ironman. Okay. So not a triathlon, not a marathon, a freaking Ironman. So right now I can't run around the block. Okay. I am like literally 70 pounds overweight. I am in really bad shape. And so my goal was to basically streamline all areas of my life. So I hired a Bow Springs yoga coach to help me with more movement in my life. And I hired a nutrition coach, you know, and again, these are pretty fresh, but they're amazing people. I put it out to the universe and these people just showed up in my path. So, you know, is it crazy? Like some people are like, oh, how'd you find these people? I didn't, they found me. Right. And that's the way the universe works, and very blessed. But yeah, so me now versus me a year from now, completely different people. Same on the inside, but a lot of stuff, well, hopefully we'll keep growing, and
we will.
Yeah. Like some of the things I got to chill more, right? Everybody knows that. But the whole team is like losing their mind right now because we know how essential that is. Again, we're always a work in progress.
We are.
Right?
I have my issues too. I don't look pretty in a fetal position.
Oh god.
All right,
Anyway.
we'll stop. We'll be
okay. All right.
So this is a really good question, actually, from Jonathan. Is the 70% for the first 2 years, or does it carry forward if you renew on HFLP?
Mm-hmm.
You are locked in at 17% as long as you are actively working with us. So that's that. And your HFLP products, if you buy one, then 5 years from now, you decide you want to buy another, it'll be 17%. You are locked in at that rate as long as you have a property with us at that rate.
Yeah. So as long as you have one active, then yeah, renewals and any new ones get tagged in. That's a pretty amazing opportunity. And I can guarantee you this won't happen again.
No.
Again, we just wanted to turn around and figure out how we can best help people at this period of time, and this is just what we were called to do. So that's where we're at. So yeah, we still have 7 minutes, so we're tying up here. So any final thoughts or any questions? Oh, can we announce our time? Did we set up a time for next week? I don't think we set up a time for next week. Do you have your calendar?
Yeah.
Tuesday evening I was hoping for, if we could do
Tuesday
5 our time.
Sure. That was, yep.
Yes. 7
I'll just make it happen.
there and 4.
That's the 21st.
We're thinking. You can see the steam.
Okay, sorry. We were talking about how we want to announce the next week's session on this call, and then we totally forgot to.
Go team!
Minutes and seconds.
We still have minutes left. And some seconds.
So we are going to announce it right now. So we are actually going to do the next one in the evening, because we've actually had a lot of people asking for us to do an evening one, which is totally fine. So it's going to be April 21st, which is a Tuesday at 7 p.m. Saskatoon time, Central Time, which will end up being 5 p.m. Eastern. Nope, sorry, 9 p.m. Eastern. Is that right? Did you want to do it at 7? Or sorry. Oh, I totally screwed this up. Okay, delete that 30 seconds.
5 p.m.
Sorry, 5 p.m. our time. See, this is why we need notes in front of us, because like seriously. So okay.
I'll put it in the comments.
Okay, it'll be put in the comments. Yes. Thanks, Ashley. So 5 p.m. our time on Tuesday the 21st, which ends up being 7 p.m. for those in Eastern time zone, and
4 p.m.
4 p.m. in people in BC. Again, time change, man. My mortal enemy.
Yeah, mine too.
All right.
Oh, Roland. Hi, this is my first Zoom meeting. You both did an awesome job and are always a breath of fresh air to listen to. Rock on.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, man.
Well, we hope you are able to join next week and bring your friends.
Yeah.
Tell them, people.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And keep bringing the questions. And I mean, again, that's why it's called the Epic Hour. We'll cover entrepreneurialism. We'll cover personal growth. We'll cover intelligence or whatever it is.
I don't know. Some days we have some.
I don't know. And then C. What's C this week? We're going to creative finance.
Yeah.
But we'll just be creative.
So yeah, we're losing it here. So we got 5 minutes left. The other thing is this is what we're going to do that is going to make us different from other people. We're picking to film in a new location every single week. So this
Can't
week,
wait till I have my jet, and then that's really interesting.
So this week we are actually filming in the basement suite that started it all.
Yes.
So if anybody knows the story, back in the day in 2012 when we were in electrical school, Alisa actually helped me build out this basement suite. So we did it all in a month. And that's when we learned that we worked so well together, which is amazing. And from there, that's why we, you know, again, there was the footsteps that led to us working well together and finding out about the Rich Dad real estate investing training, and then Alisa using her divorce settlement money to pay for that and But yeah, but we're in it. So we got like 2 minutes. Do you think we can do a quick buzz around?
I was going to say, just answer that question quickly and then do
Okay.
Yeah. So Donna, with HFLP, do you have financial institutions for us to deal with? 100%. We have 2 mortgage broker groups that we work with heavily.
Yeah.
And can we actually post their information? Best thing to do is set up a call with us, and we will put you in touch with the right one for you and your scenario.
Yeah, for sure. So reach out again. We're running out of time here. So we'll do this quick tour. So it's interesting how things come full circle, right? Because right now, again, we're in the basement suite. My house is 5 minutes away from the office because, again, I work all the time. I need to be stumbling distance within home. And so, again.
Because she gets tired, not because of other things.
Yeah. No, I work till all hours.
She does.
And I'm like, I used to have a couch in my old other office, and then this office didn't have it. So I had to balance out my life better and get home to sleep in a bed, but whatever. So the thing is that we are in the core in Saskatoon. I've lived here. It's cheap to live. I've had this basement suite that was always a mortgage helper. But at the end of the day, I was in the process of switching it to an Airbnb because it's right across the street from the hospital, and it would have made sense. Then all of a sudden I got a phone call from Melissa and the marketing team, and she's like, can the marketing team use your basement suite? We're running out of room.
We're like literally on top of each other, and I'm going to snap and it won't be pretty. And I already explained the fetal position doesn't look good.
So right now, this is where our marketing team works out of. So we have changed it. Obviously, it's not a living area and a bedroom. We've switched it up a bit, but it goes back to pivoting and adapting, right? We switched it up, and this is where we work. So we'll do a quick tour. It's really small. It's like
1 bedroom.
Yeah, it's like 600 square feet. It's a 1-bedroom suite, but it's super functional. It's cute, right? And people generally like it. So yeah, we'll take on a quick tour. How do we do that?
Okay. The team is working with us here.
Okay, so again, we have moved some stuff because we are switching stuff around. So when you take okay, so we got a thing here. Oh, here's Brad. Oh, hey, say there's Ashley. Say hi to the team. We got Bailey over here. There we go. All right. So again, it's not a very big suite, but let's start at so here is where we built the kitchen. So again, the kitchen was already plumbed in, so it's a little bit awkward, but we tried to make use of the space we had. So it's small, but it works. And then you can see the entrance here. So it is pretty tight entrance. So I had to get little appliances in and all that stuff. And then we did the bathroom, which again, not super fancy, but it's functional. So just a stand-up shower stall and lino flooring, little Walmart vanity, little mirror. And that's about it. And then
my dad and I installed the kitchen.
Yes, I know. It's literally like it was a godsend. Yeah. Okay, and then we got the living room here.
That's where we were sitting.
Yeah, that's where we were. And then in the back here, we just have the bedroom. So that's pretty much it. So like I said, we use it as the office now. And then the laundry room and storage. So that's it. So let's get finished up here. And we are going to be over our time. So we want to end this. And Alisa, we'll sign off, and I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you join us next week, and click and share the recording and all that stuff, because we want to spread the epic craziness.
Stay epic.